Hello, everybody. This is Saberwolf, one of the community managers for the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide community. As time has come to say goodbye to one of our standard flag set competitions that we have in our community, that is the Ultros League. Like I just said, is where almost all of our flags, across all of our other competitions and events that we do around here, was based off of. So please join us on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern on our FF6 Worlds Collide Twitch channel to say goodbye to this flag set and the competitions. It will be an all-night event of looking back in the past and how things were and what we're looking forward to. Once again, join us 8 p.m. Eastern on FF6 Worlds Collide Twitch channel. There we go. All right, that's take 5 on that one.
where to start with Ultros League. 8 amazing seasons. I gotta say though, I went through one of my hardest times through I think 5 and 6 or 6 and 7. Yeah, 5 and 6. Um, I went through a divorce, and I realized a lot of you guys were out there, and I talked to a lot of you through all of it. And Ultros League helped me keep my sanity through all of it. It was one of the hardest times of my life. While there were so many unpredictable things, I could always count on everybody that played Ultros League, and for that weekly race to be there. Um, from Glue to Fitz to Saberwolf, all you guys that I talked to through all this stuff, um, it helped me keep my sanity. I hardly saw my kids. I was working like crazy, lost massive weights, unhealthy amount of weight. But I gotta say, Ultros League has always been there, and it's sad to see it go. It'll always hold a place in my heart. Here's to the 2 seasons that kept my sanity, and here's to the rest. We'll miss you, UL.
Hello, good evening, happy time zone. I am One Free Fitz. This is the Ultros League finale, and I'm joined on commentary by Fiery Blizzard. Before I kick it over to you, I'll share one of my favorite Ultros League memories. I practiced really hard for the qualifiers for season 1, and I placed in the potion, and I was so proud. And then I got stomped in potion by a lot of future mega elixirs. But due to the league growth, I hung out in the potion and then got to elixir and got 3rd place every season after that. 3rd strongest elixir player here. And Fiery Blizzard, what's your favorite Ultros League memory?
Oh, I have to say, joining in season 6 after Warring Triads and going into Tonic and meeting probably one of my rivals in Worlds Collide in general, Bomb Track PE. Absolutely great dude. Loved racing him throughout Ultros League in Tonic and then a few other events. But it was always a lot of fun to be in a pod group situation and just race a bunch of people and get to talk strategies and see what people were doing. I really enjoyed the format. And then, a bunch of rivalries came out of Ultros League, not just me and Bomb Track, but several throughout each of the pods. So uh, it was a great time. I really loved it. And I'm looking forward, giving this the proper send off today. We should probably explain what's going on here a little bit today. So this is the swan song of Ultros League. We got two racers to start. Golden Shocker on the left, Drulif on the right. The right stream is going to be rotating throughout. We're going to be bringing racers in to talk a little bit about their Ultros League memories. Whereas Golden Shocker, the winner of Mega Elixir in Season 8, is actually going to be staying on the stream until he completes his run. So it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a little bit chaotic. I hope you all enjoy tonight. And of course, if you have any fond memories, which I'm sure you do, of Ultros League, make sure to write them in chat. Share the love, right?
Indeed, and I saw we had a Hero Ring and a Ragnarok in the Narsh Treasure Room. I have a feeling I know where those are going. We might be going fast. It's always good to find a incredibly powerful sword in the first 10 chests that we often go to in the game.
Yeah, sometimes you miss it, though. I know people who love to skip Narsh.
That's true.
No, it's a... I'm not a fan of the Demon Chocobo,
yeah.
But...
and then, yeah, that's hurting my eyes a little bit, but we'll be wrapping around. And then the other thing I think that makes up for our other two starting characters, Strago. I like the Coral Cave is fine. The Fanatics Tower is sometimes the move. And there's another check, but I can't remember what it is. I guess early Go-Go, not too bad. Over the years of Ultros League, I have made my peace with the bridge guards. They're just going to do their job, and I'll just do my best to leave them be. Although I do remember, I have a fond memory. I feel like I definitely remember a race of me getting stuck in Zone Eater on the bridges for like 3 minutes and then getting squished on the squish room afterwards, being flustered. So many highs and lows.
Yeah. Zone Eater Bridge is for sure a low point in any run that I do. Do not enjoy it. I did want to bring attention to the people in chat. We do have a prediction tonight of how many unique Ultros fights will we actually see on stream. So it's really 0 for 4. If you're doing over 5, probably not going to happen unless there's a secret with Ultros. But yeah, Ultros 1, 2, 3, and 4 are obviously in the pool. How many of those will we see tonight? Make your prediction in chat with the channel points. Maybe you can win quite a few more.
I'm putting it all. How many points do I have? Hold on. I gotta claim them. Let me look. 14.5k. I'm putting it all on 3. 3 is for me. Oh, I didn't do enough. Let's get some more. No, that's too many.
Yeah, so to talk a little bit about the race as well, because there is technically gameplay going on in screen as we're discussing this. We do have both our racers currently in Returners Hideout doing a little bit of looting. We saw Golden Shocker go to Figaro Castle for that free Edgar check. Edgar is, a great starting character because you do get those half-price shops with him being in the lead both in Figaro Castle for the item shop and then all the shops in World of Ruin sell Figaro as well. So always really nice to see Edgar. Honestly, Go-Go, as much as I hate the checks, a great 4th character with the abilities as well. I think we do have tools, and if we have Flash, that's actually pretty nice as well. Strago, we already talked about him. He's he's a character that exists a lot of times. All right, so we got... we do have, like I said, we're going to bring people in throughout the stream tonight to talk a little bit about Ultros League and their experience with it and share some of their memories. And I believe we are going to get our first racer here in chat. I believe Papa Shango will be joining us in a few seconds, and there he is. Papa Shango, welcome to the booth.
Hey, thanks for having me. How's everyone doing?
I think we're doing well. We're trying to hold it together as we say farewell to something that has meant quite a bit to us in the past year plus, or even longer for some of us, like Fitz. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just happy to be able to be a part of this farewell event. Ultros League was my first, really anything I did with any randomizers. I joined the randomizer right during Ultros League 6, like right when it was starting, which seemed to be really good timing. And just had a really good time. And I've since realized just how spoiled I was coming into an event in a community like Worlds Collide with Ultros League, and just how well it's run, how much thought was going into the flag sets and the organization, how everything went with it. I've since learned quite a bit about randomizers and just really have a new appreciation, even though I already had it, for what was going on. And I'm sad to see it go. And I'm just hoping that we can continue more flag sets, crafted by Double Down in the admin team Worlds Collide to kind of take its place and just keep it going. And so, yeah, I just really appreciate everything that happened here, and, just glad I could be a part of it.
Yeah, so both Fitz and I did sort of open up saying sort of what is one of our favorite memories of Ultros League and participating in it. So obviously I have to ask that to everyone we bring into chat. Sort of, do you have a favorite memory of an Ultros League race, or maybe an entire season? What's your go-to?
I think my initial season, though, I was in a tonic group with I didn't know at the time, but quite a stacked group with Rybon and NG Dave and Plasma Kappa and Numbers. We were all in our same potion group together right when I joined in with Moogle Cup, and just going through that with all those kind of veterans, and it was just fun. They were just, like I said, it was my first time doing any sort of randomizers, any sort of racing scene and everything, and so it's just the introduction to it and just being able to be a part of it was my favorite part and best memory.
Very nice. Yeah, I also thought that, like, as Moogle Cup got going, it was always cool to be able to, like, follow the progress of, like, my past mentees. And I know, like, I got to mentor Papa Shango. We formed what I would say is the best tag team of all time.
Definitely.
D-Generation X Magic, which the Chupon Championship used the Ultros League flag, so I always considered it like a related thing. Or when I think Ultros League, I do think Chupon Championship and competing for those titles and winning a couple, having a belt commissions and all of that fun stuff. So definitely part of my overall memories of the Ultros League is just some of the related stuff that kind of popped up because people like to race the flags.
Yeah, that's definitely great. Is that it really, Ultros League has spawned just a slew of other flags that are in events that are kind of it's based around, and take it as inspiration. And so, yeah, it's been great. And Fitz was my mentor in the Moogle Cup during that same time, so definitely appreciate him.
Yeah, I have to say, I had mentioned this earlier, but one of the things that I think held true to a lot of people, especially coming out of the Moogle Cup, was sort of you were like focused on one or two people to be like, I'm going to be your rival, and you don't have a choice to say no on this. And people were like, let's go.
And that's definitely my best memory of Ultros League, because me and Plasma Kappa, who unfortunately recently passed away, but we were in Moogle Cup finals together, and we were also in the same Ultros League pod, and so it was really a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look like we are going to get Glue. What's happening on stream? I can't tell anything. Okay, so the right stream is now JS Numbers. As we said, the right stream is going to be switching throughout the broadcast, whereas we have Golden Shocker on the left there, just to highlight, of course, everyone playing. It's going to be a fun, chaotic time, as I mentioned. I have to say, we had Ultros League, and unfortunately with that stopping and the Atma series coming up, we obviously have one of the admins, or who's going to be assumed the creator of Atma series. What do you want from Glue?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Oh, what do I want for Glue? I just want him, to do the best he can. Not necessarily, we don't need to copy Ultros League and do, everything exactly the same. Just want him to be himself and do the best that he can in organizing an event, doing it the way he does it, and just have fun with it.
That is the goal of all of this, is to not just have fun and avoid Zone Eater, I believe.
Avoid Zone
Those are
Eater?
my goals.
I'm not on stream, am I?
No, not right now. But I can guess where you are.
Well, I just left it. I'm in an unfortunate. Someone searched for me.
Yeah, I did see that on Golden Shocker side too. So I guess you can feel good, and you're not the first one that's naturally running into a Sky thing. Yeah, I have been trying to keep it generic here. We are definitely seeing the check we don't talk about, and a little bit of why that's going on. But yeah, still in that kind of opening, feeling around, getting our power, getting our first couple of levels in.
I always have to think about when I with Ultros League, and there's always I always had this thought of man, I should have done this better. I should have done this better. And there are always a couple of weeks where I'm I played this really well, which I always enjoyed. And of course, you can see, in these pod situations that were 8 people pods, and it's just okay, what did everyone else do? And it's okay, no one ever plays perfectly, right? Even Golden Shocker did not, even though his average was sub 110 last season. But it was always really nice to have that feeling and have the opportunity to do that every week in the pod setting. And of course, one of the things that we hadn't brought up this entire time, Fitz, your contribution to the Ultros League, or the Shadow Ultros League, as you may call it, of the underground arena as well, where you took 20 to 30 people running the same seed in an async setting, and just being how do you operate from an 8-person race to now a 20-person race or a 30-person race? I thought was a lot of fun too, and I don't know what your plans are regarding the arena after this, but I look forward to seeing what you do.
Yeah, it was really, a thing that I started because I wanted to still learn more, and honestly, a lot of times when I practice a randomizer solo, I have a hard time gauging. Of course, I could be I think that went well, but I don't know, with just looking at the time. And so that's kind of where it started. And I definitely learned a lot and enjoyed having a broad spectrum of racers to play with every week, and then in the pods too, and just over time getting to know everyone's little tendencies. We all have our pet checks that we love, or checks that we don't like to go to, and I often would have rough early parts of the season, so I would get real reckless and aggressive as the season went on, and just kind of got to see how that went against the same group. So yeah, I had a lot of that. We do have a fun trivia fact. The preseason placement races before season 1 had 55 racers in one single async.
That's a fairly large async. I'm glad I was not responsible for trying to organize that or to figure that out. This is probably the most unfortunate boss you could run into that isn't Magic Master.
Yeah. I mean, we got some levels along the way, but like it really depends on what sort of resources. I saw a couple Thunder Shields kicking around. We might be able to break and mimic, or that's going to be a little bad. We might be in a long fight here.
We do have health, which is going to help a lot here. But yeah, this is one of those things that I think don't play around with Doomgaze. Do break the Thunder Shield and mimic that, and that should do it. We don't really have much scaling when it comes to the current state. Hopefully someone else has a Thunder Shield on.
Ooh. That's tough. A clear example of the rando gonna rando. We're gonna continue our whip around coverage of this finale race, as we did get quite a few coming in for the race room. I think that's like a Worlds Collide sort of rite of passage experience of like, I'm gonna do Burning House, and because I know nobody else in this race is gonna go there. And then, it always seems like, at least it's, probably that memory thing of just remembering the negative stuff, but of having that experience seemingly all the time whenever I go there. I'd be like, oh yeah, I got some great levels. We fought some Vectors. We got those eyes. We're level like 14. And then it's all gone. This is not a particular easy one either on Bubbaski's side. The Stooges at low levels, medium levels, and high levels. I mean, they're pretty mean overall. I didn't roll this one, so I can't be accountable. It feels like I did.
Yeah, this is a particularly rude set of opening bosses where it turns out, your best deal was to go to Zone Eater, grab Cyan for character 4, and don't get destroyed by the opening of White Dragon.
Yeah, White Dragon, we can mute, and then that'll shut them up in terms of their spells. Luckily, they're one of the lower hit point dragons, and so I think if Golden Shocker can get a proc and or another swing in.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, I'm surprised this White Dragon's still around.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, we all had those weeks in Ultros League where every single opening check you did just felt like a complete disaster, and you're resetting for 15 to 20 minutes, and you're like, well, that could have gone better.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of look back, and you'll generally, when that happens, you're not winning. But the good thing about Ultros League, of course, is that you had 2 races to throw away at the end of it. 8 weeks, top 6 points for it. So I was the beneficiary of that a couple times, for sure. During, I know Tonic for sure. My Tonic B group was, and we were talking about really strong groups in Tonic and Potion. My Tonic B group was myself, Bomb Track, who was going to be a Mega the following season as well. It was Master Jed, who we saw had won an Elixir League back in, I think, Ultras League 2.
Mm-hmm.
Meads was there. It was an incredibly strong group, and I remember doing the calculations in week 6 or 7 or so and saying, what needs to happen for me to win this? What needs to happen for Bomb Track to win it? What needs to happen for Jed to win it? Because it was sort of a 3-way race at the time. And it was, for a Tonic group, It was incredible, and then of course, going past that as well, you start seeing, season 7, season 8. Those tonic groups didn't really get any easier, and the only reason why, certain tonic groups aren't going to say that they're going to be able to have, sporting 3 or 4 mega elixir players at the end of it is simply because, well, there weren't seasons to go up to that point. But you could see that for sure. And Moogle Cup was a big part of that in the mentor program. Just the quality of players were, increased every season, it seemed like.
Yeah, definitely. Growing the player base, and saw a lot of great practice effort between seasons. That was another reason I liked having the underground around, was to have, at least one seed a week that I was playing in the off season to keep it sharp. I did want to point out, I saw Bubsky, very great move against that Inferno immediately. Thunder Shield Mimic got through what could have been, a very long and potentially dangerous fight, getting their progression. And Golden Shocker, I think they also did a shield break to take care of that dragon, going back-to-back dragons. We're gonna, after Bubsky finishes here, continue our coverage of the field, heading on the sigil, and we're also joined in the booth by Nobody War. Happy time zone. How's it going?
Boom. Yeah. Not bad. What is this? How do you even play this game?
You don't. It plays you.
That's true.
We're not going to spoil anything.
It's all good. Oh, cool. This guy. Forgot to use that thing we just bought. Sounds typical.
I have to bring up where we have finally seen one Ultros on the screen, so that's one for the counter.
Yes, the prediction. So zeros, unfortunately, they had this show up. It's like, the league is in their honor. And so
look at this hero.
We're gonna feel some more. But yeah, we've been kind of pulling over everyone we've been pulling in. Nobody War been asking any favorite Ultros League memories to share as you try to get through this seed at the same time.
Oh man, specifically, I can't tell you. It's a blur. But it's all about the journey and what happened along the way. So,
is what happened on the way your introduction to Chaos Seeds and Dungeon Crawlers, and it seems like that. It was
yeah. Not to say like it's boring, since it was like our standard thing for so long, but yeah, after a while, I can only bang my head against something so much. So I started to do a bunch of other different things, but this is amazing. Just the possibilities of things are endless.
Yeah, I have to ask. I actually didn't ask this to anyone else we brought in so far. How many Ultros League seasons did you take part of?
I believe it was all of them. Maybe I don't have recordings. I went back and looked. I don't have recordings of the first season, but I'm pretty sure I was there. But yeah, since day one.
That is what I thought, but I wasn't sure, and that is very impressive. So, did you take place in the 55-person async that was for?
Oh yeah, the very first seeding race.
Yeah, Double Down was typing in chat about that one, so would have loved to see that, especially with the because I think there were a couple updates to Worlds Collide between season 1 and so on. I know the old flags
Gunning
were
for
a
your
little bit
boy
different.
here.
Unfortunately, if you did find Umaro, your stream is not online or not on the stream right now. But I can believe that there is a Umaro there.
Yeah, we can only hope so.
I can't find Umaros for the life of me. So I mean, I proved that earlier.
But also, for chat, we want to hear what your favorite Ultros League memories are as well. We're confirming Nobody War was indeed in season 1. I remember season 2. I think we were in Potion B, aka the Potion Beast, together. And that was some fun times. I think we had like Mogray in our division too. So I definitely got that experience even at the beginning of kind of doing too well and then playing against people that were definitely in a league above me. But because of that, I feel like I learned a lot once I kind of got over. It's like, well, I'm not going to be in the top half of this this season, but I can learn a lot from those that are. And so, because if you want to be the best, you gotta beat the best.
Yeah, I mean, I was also in a group with Nobody War. Was it season 7? I think. Hopefully not season. I don't remember my seasons anymore or where it was, but that was always really fun as well. Ultros number 2 spotted.
Can we mimic one spell through this? Oh, fun times.
Depends what the spell is.
Oh, I'm here for the memes all day, buddy. Let's go.
I have to ask, was there, with 8 seasons in line, this may, thinking back a bit, was there one particular person that you were kind of like, you try to have a little rivalry?
It's tough. I feel like every season there's that one person. You know what I mean? There are at least 2 or 3 of them. Everybody's gunning for your head.
But
it's like this guy.
Did one of them stick out in particular? Just like, I'm going to go back and forth with this guy.
I don't know. I'll give it to him, and I did it in this run. I ran South Figaro backwards. It'll be Saberwolf, probably at the top of the list.
All right. I think that was. Were we in Potion A? I can't even remember anymore what potion group it was. Saberwolf wouldn't let me forget it, but.
Clutch. What a G.
Oh, that's okay. A couple of interesting things we're seeing on our stream.
Oh, it's over. Sad.
Gonna continue our coverage, hitting up PB&J, PLZ. I believe. Oh, another Ultros League memory was when Gar and myself and PB&J raced at RBG Limit Break. It was a lot of fun. It was a very close race. I believe we started with Umaro thanks to the donations, and then we went out and got hot chicken for dinner afterwards. And it was a great time.
Oh, look, we got 4 of us in the booth right now that were all in FFR last year. Myself, Nobody War, you, and Glue. I don't remember any hot chicken last summer, man. Why didn't we do that?
I hadn't located it, but RBG Limit Break, Gar had it on lockdown, and I feel like I have a lot of fond memories of watching Gar react to getting Strago or Strago doing something wrong, or just
we're not allowed to show those clips. We have the censored reel as part of the, I believe, 2025 or 2024 year in review. If anyone is interested in those clips, but yeah, that was always an interesting, fun time for sure. Strago could do no right.
I wonder where that gal was that we see. That. Alrighty, we have released Nobody War back to the cockpit of the race car, and we've pulled in another fantastic community member. Dwayne, good evening. What's your favorite Ultros League memory? That's what we're asking everyone first.
Oh man, well first off, good evening. That's a tough one. Let's hear my favorite Ultros League memory. Pretty much any race against Sigil. He was basically my competition, even if we were in different pods. If I could outdo Sigil, then I win. Flat out.
You know what's amazing about that answer? You answered the question that was going to be following that. So congratulations.
Very nice.
Oh, whoa, okay.
So we've asked about the rivalries that form, from being in like the same pod.
Now you better hope that Sigil answers the same way.
No, he probably won't, but that's okay. He's not obligated.
It would be on purpose. I know it would be on purpose, and then his heart of hearts, he knows, but he would say not because Sigils can be contrarian at times.
I mean, that's a very fine word for it right there, contrarian. But no, I think some of my favorite memories were just the people that I met along the way. I actually really liked like the very start of Ultros League, where you got to see where you're going to be, who you're going to be with, who moved up, who moved down, and all that fun stuff.
And why did Double Down do this? And
yeah.
Where can you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that. Not alone on that one for sure.
Yeah. Watching the Mega Elixir runners was always just fantastic because everybody went so fast, and it's like, oh my gosh, how do they do that? And I mean, it's good times all the way around. Loved it.
Of course. How much could Double Down seed rolling mess with you and everyone else?
I mean, I would never point fingers. I would never do that.
So what are you pointing?
And I would never try to offer the commissioner bribes to get a better seed during a rough stretch of seeds. Never ever.
I mean, I'll point fingers once it's completely over with, and is like there's no threat of retaliation in any way, shape, or form, and then I'll point fingers at Double Down.
All the fingers?
I mean, who said there'd be multiple? It might be just one. I've now been officially banned from Ultros League. Oh no, what will I do?
Oh man. What does that look like?
Banned. Well,
I guess
in a decade when we reboot it,
I'll be banned. I'll go live in my Moogle cup.
Does that just mean that you get stuck with where the Yeti is?
Do I get to fly the airship? Is that what we're saying?
Our producer's upset.
I know. Now I'm gonna get banned from Atma series.
Get kicked out of the booth.
I know.
I will say that I think like having the Ultros League, having like so many pods, it definitely gave us a lot of opportunities to restream a lot of the races. And I know over the seasons there were a bunch of community members involved in producing the actual restreams, doing commentary, doing the tracking. And I think that was also a really cool aspect is that like when the league was going, I even looked, tonight where it was like, oh man, the Live Now channel is jumping off, right? Like that there was always a lot of when any event's going on, there's more action, but like you could always pretty much count on someone was running some Ultros League at any given time that we had worlds colliders in time zones.
There's actually one more thing I want to bring up about Ultros League. There's probably several more things, but I can think of one right now. It produced the Ultros Underground from you, Fitz. That's an incredible event. Now I know we're doing like, what is it, the toilet part?
Look, we have rebranded it. Yes, the Atmos Toilet Tumble.
Toilet Tumble. There we go. I didn't have it right in front of me.
Spiritual successor to the Ultros Underground.
So the unsanctioned,
the premier destination, the shady promoter that is not me, that runs these premier unsanctioned sports entertainment events, appreciates the kind words, and we'll continue to look for opportunities to shadily promote practice of active events, because Double Down, I like alliteration, and I reserve the right to change it if necessary. That is we have been gambling on the number of Ultroses, and we're getting a few.
Yeah, we only have.
Go ahead. Sorry.
We only have one more disappointing Ultras. Well, the disappointing Ultras left.
He's going to be in KT. We all know that. But so what happens if we see all four? What's your plan?
Oh, I mean, it's a prediction. People win channel points.
Somebody is going to win. I think I've already lost. I bet I put it all on 2 Ultroses, and I should have known that 4 was going to be the answer. I should have had. I didn't believe enough that Ultros would make their presence fully felt, no matter where our runners go.
You gotta have faith. You gotta have faith in the octopus royalty.
Little auction.
Ooh.
I have to say the
Coliseum.
You brought up the pod situation and everything, and let me tell you, on the other side of this, and having run a couple of events, I am so glad I was not, I didn't have to deal with trying to set those pods up, or I got to imagine Double Down's sort of reaction when it's like, wait, how many tonic pods do we need this season? When it sort of exploded in Season 5, Season 6 time frame, it's just like, well, that just got a lot more interesting, or a lot more chaotic. And I mean, it really can't be said enough. A huge shout out to Double Down setting all of it up, right? Do not envy that position whatsoever.
Yeah, but I mean, all that work was so appreciated too. I mean, it's just the highlight of the year, for sure.
It's definitely in my also limited event running experience, it's one of those things that, like, when it's going really well, it's like, it's just good. There's not like a yes, Ultros League worked this week, congratulations thing, and then when occasionally, because no event is ever perfect. You can never. That's my main takeaway. It's just like, if you have an event idea, just do it. Like, you'll learn stuff for next time, and we'll never get it super perfect, but you'll get the next one a little bit better, and more stuff for us to do, right?
I mean, you're not making me nervous about taking over Moogle Cup at all. No way. Thanks, guys.
Just blame Blue if something goes wrong. Fine.
Oh, the Fair. Okay. Hey, I'll point fingers at Glue now.
It's perfect.
All right.
He might just send you a picture of a Yeti in response, but I have no control over that.
I mean, it might be an AI Yeti too. We never know.
Mm.
If you were to actually send me like a hand-drawn Yeti, personally done by him, I would actually send it in to like be signed and everything, and that would be pretty awesome. Actually, get on that, Glue.
That would be. That would be. I gotta say, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I have to do a little bit of shout out with PB&J's stream right now. As part of the, I'm not part of the RAF crew, but there are certainly members of the community that swear on the Leet River check, and so giving a shout out to Pero and the rest of them. That is, I'm certain, for all of them.
Like I still do, even though these days I kind of don't do it anymore. Like I still believe in it, and I certainly have I think that's the reason I overqualified in asyncs, because I gambled on Leet River every time. That was like, all right, I see these fast people, they never go here. I'm going there every time. And I, found a character that had like a faster path sort of thing, right? And then I think you can also get a reputation in your pod for being really enthusiastic about something and kind of bend the meta in your direction. Like I definitely remember that when I was the peak cheerleader of like always do lead, it was like a couple people would be like at least thinking about it. It's like, oh, well, Fitz is gonna go here, and if like, so that was always like a fun thing too. Of like, Burning House was another one, I think, like that you could kind of like become like a cheerleader and increase at least the amount of thought that your opponents would have to put into an unpopular destination.
Now listen, just so you know, that actually trickled down to the lower pods too. Like I remember thinking, ooh, Fitz is always saying something about lead. I think I'm gonna do lead. So just so you know, it trickled down.
Yeah, I've always thought that like, whoa. We're cutting in.
Whoa.
On Mike 34.
Let's go, Mike.
Yeah. Live production.
Person who is very well versed in a whole bunch of randos. There's actually, I feel like a lot of people that I first saw in either through Moogle Cup or Ultros League, I've also seen that being branched out to various other randomizers as well. I know, Dwyer, you've taken your sort of rivalry with Sigil, and I know he's mentoring you in Z1R. And I've seen the same with Jets of Time as well. I know you're a big mentor there, and Glue's been doing mentoring work as well. The community that Ultros League has brought together, even the pods, they don't just stay in Worlds Collide, right? They really span the entirety of not just randomizers, but probably throughout. So it's great to see.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know some of that happens just kind of organically. If it's like you follow someone that plays Worlds Collide, and then you see like, whoa, wait a minute. Like there's also a randomizer for this. And then eventually, like, I was just like, I assume that there's a randomizer for any game that's old enough, and that's generally true. And then, just like taking some of the stuff that we've done here, and it was just like, yeah, Moogle Cup that really works for developing new players. So like, I tried to replicate that in my own way. For Jets of Time, and Worlds Collide was definitely the first one that I discovered. But yeah, really from there, it's just like, eventually I guess I'll run out of like JRPG retro randomizers to learn, but I haven't yet. So
you got quite a few just across even one console. So yeah, you got a while, I'm sure. Especially if you want to start adding all the Dragon Quest randomizers.
Oh yeah.
It's another can of worms. I'm not just talking about DWR. I'm talking about 2, 3. I think 4 even has one. Yeah, it's a whole bunch.
Just start making your list, Fitz.
I said early on that some people like to avoid Narsh. I think Mike might just kind of prove the point there. You know how we were talking about the big sword in Narsh, generally one of the first 7 or 8 chests that people open up. Turns out Mike is, I guess, one of those people that skip and has now found the Ragnarok. Meanwhile, if you take a look at Golden Shocker's screen, of course, again, Golden Shocker putting up honestly quite absurd times throughout all of Season 8. It's hard to articulate just how impressive it is to be sub 70 throughout 8 seeds on average in Ultros League.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's absolutely
definitely.
disgusting. Disgusting in the best way, but still.
Yeah,
But
Golden
he's-
Shocker is a player that I watch a lot and try to learn from. I think sometimes, especially when we've been doing something for a while, it can become like pretty familiar, and you can forget. It's easy for me to forget that like new player eyes, right? Or even like there are levels to this, and even from like where I'm at to like where I want to be, I can still see like that gap and continuing to refine that sort of like what is good enough. When do I slam the accelerator? But Golden Shocker, through an incredible amount of effort and practice, has a really like incredibly well honed sense of that. I have enough power. Like, let's go. I can make this work.
Now, unfortunately, I believe this check is an offering and not the final Esper Golden Shocker would need. I mean, I know I'm talking about Golden Shocker here, but not to diminish Mike as well, is going to be in the same position of being 1 Esper short after grabbing the Scowl from Kefka and Narsh. So, I mean, again, just it's close. And it's going to be, where is that final Esper? As I think, I think all 3 of us and everyone on the booth, even if you haven't played a lot of Worlds Collide seeds, it always seems like you have a seed in which you either have all the characters in the world and no Espers, or all the Espers in the world and no characters, and you're just like, why can't I get something that's balanced?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no kidding. One last note and just about Golden Shocker is, he's an incredible player. Also just a all-around nice guy. If you've ever just sat and talked to him, he's amazing. So, yeah.
Agree.
For sure.
All right, guys, I'm going to hop off of here. I've got family time I got to go do, but thank you for letting me talk about just an incredible event where, you all kind of became family.
Yeah,
We're not going anywhere.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks for
Or are
sharing
you, Blizzard?
your memories.
Or are you?
As long as
Are
people
you
keep
going
saving
anywhere?
crits
No.
and jets of time, like I'm not going anywhere. But the timelines have to be preserved.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Good night.
You as well. Speak of the Mike, and we've got him in the booth.
Hey, friends.
Congratulations, you are the first person we're pulling up in which we actually have the stream in front of us.
Oh no, that means you guys, did you see the terrible trolls earlier?
No, but we did see the confused Strago and the poison.
I was hoping that
Go-Go.
Strago was going to do something bad, but
Yeah,
that only happens to me.
he wanted to, he's just too slow,
Yeah. So, I have to ask, especially as someone who is so well versed in various randomizers, your general thoughts on Ultros League, sort of what is your favorite memory of Ultros League, and anything else you want to comment on?
Oh, Ultros League has been maybe the most like net fun I've had in randomizers that I've played. It's just such a great tournament format. 8 weeks. Learning it was really fun. I'd run all the seeds everyone played and had so many people I could compare to. But I think my favorite memory was probably my last potion group. I think everyone in that group will not forget it anytime soon. Is really close. In fact, going into the last race, John and I was 2 points away from him, and we tied to the exact second to determine second place. And we also had a race in that pod where this is potion, and we had 5 runners under like 108. And on that one, I tied Nani Gray to the second. So that was a really cool pod.
Yeah, I remember at least seeing those results and being like, well, that's a pod. Those are results. I was saying earlier, it really seemed like, admittedly, I wasn't around all that long, but just the quality of those pods towards the later seasons at the lower levels were just so stacked. Right? You could throw 75% of the tonic and potion players into Elixir or even Mega Elixir, and they would be competitive. It was just ridiculous. The skill
something
expression
about that.
involved.
Didn't you have a pod with like I don't know, like bomb track and what was in that? Jedi Master Jed, was that you?
Yeah. Meads was there, yeah.
That's
It's
great.
a lot of fun. No, I do want to ask though. The other question I've been asking was, you may have touched on this a little bit with your answer actually, but thinking about World Collide and rivalries, sort of like, who would you pick as sort of that rival of yours for Ultros League?
I got a couple actually. As I learned the game, what I would do as I was like getting it better as a player, I'd pick someone who I wanted to start getting times better than. And as I was going through that, the person that I was stuck on the longest, and I don't know that I ever passed, or at least pretty close, was Narves. And now we're Chupon partners, which is pretty cool. But also in Potion, running against Jazer, he was a step ahead of me the whole time, and that was really fun too. So I'd say Narves and Jazer.
All right. Yeah, I will say the Chupon Championship seeds were always a lot of fun to see. When I was pairing up with Glue and seeing, going back into like, is Mike and Narves going to beat us this week or this round, or Fitz and Pamachanga going to beat us? It was always a lot of fun to sort of figure out how all the timing was going to work for the Chupon Championship. And no, it was really quite fun. It sounds like your potion group was quite memorable.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I'll never get to know, I guess, what exactly the elixir would have looked like. That would have been really cracked. But maybe an atmosphere.
I don't know. Get Double Down to make the mock pods, assuming the same people.
Speaking of Double Down, I didn't do a meme, but if I was gonna do a meme, I had an idea for it. I just didn't have time to do it. I was going to put that the cheat code for great tournament setups is an arrow pointing down, arrow pointing down.
Mike, you're supposed to find an Esper.
Yeah, there's one behind Search the Skies, right? Oh,
you
don't tell me. There's one behind Search the Skies here, right?
Oh, I wasn't gonna say this.
Rhetorical question.
We saw 2 people run into the skies.
Yeah.
Yeah. way too early on.
I didn't think I was going to end up with character skip on this. But here we are. Oh, it's nice of the seed to give you an instant Ragnarok hero ring if you were a Mog enjoyer. Which I'm not. So.
If you like to be, go to Narsh, we were talking about this, because we did see the Ragnarok and hero ring rather early. And it's like, well, some people like to skip Narsh.
That's me.
And then, we pulled up your stream, you're walking into Narsh and grabbing the Ragnarok. I'm like, well, there's, proof of that concept.
True.
But you did get it. Ragnaroks aren't too great at the very beginning unless you have a gauntlet anyways. It's fine.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't found any gauntlets personally. But we found a Genji glove and Aura Lances for Ragnarok. So we got one. And then I got a dud Aura Lance from doing Opera House and went and traded that into. Now we're going to the Oh, no, we're not. Never mind. I thought I was ready, and alas.
Alas,
you know what? I'll take that. Let's see.
Sparkle.
Actually, my levels aren't going to be good enough for that outlook, then, are they?
I'm going to be honest, I have not paid a single bit of attention to what Espers and stat bonuses we've had.
Yeah, we're having too much fun to keep track of, and also there's been a lot of we have cycled through a nice number of the racers as well, which is pretty cool. And I think we have a Numbers has joined us.
What up?
Hello. How's it going?
Can you hear me? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to disappear out of the race. Kids decided to be kids. So,
Yeah, that definitely can have an impact. But welcome into the booth. We've been asking the same questions similar questions to everybody. So, as you can expect, the first question here, take us through sort of your favorite memories of Ultros League.
I don't want to expose too much because I think Blue's got something of mine that's gonna kind of be shown for everybody. But as I guess really my favorite memories are just the camaraderie. I'm not anything amazing at this game, but it's fun to be able to talk to everybody and talk strategy. And not only do you talk strategy in the game, but you make friends over time and learn about who they are. And by us having these races, you get to know people. And, I feel like I've made a lot of friends through this and through some pretty hard times. This is what I had. Kind of wild, but this Ultros League kept my sanity for a while. So I think that's my biggest memory of all this. Is just the people, not the game, but the people.
Yeah, for sure. And we did start off with the little highlight reel before the race. That is why it started a little bit later. So
I was too busy getting ready for the race. I didn't know what happened with all of it. But yeah, so with that being said, I went through a pretty rough time, and this helped out a lot with all the people I got to talk to with all of it, and a lot of it was during Ultros League, and a lot of the people that I was in races with, I talked with them about it, and it literally kept my sanity at times. So while it's more the community than just Ultros League. Ultros League is kind of what brought it all together for me, though.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone in that at all. Not just Ultros League, but just overall World Squad. And randomizer community, I would say. But you were talking about people, and we can talk about friends. Was there somebody who you would consider a friendly rival that you were always trying to compare times with or strategies with?
Let's see. Let's think this through. I guess this last season, or no, it was 2 seasons ago, when Jazer came in and was just like obliterating everything, and I was like, I've been playing this longer than him. I'm better than him, and that's all I was thinking. But like whenever he got into Potion League, and comes to find out, he's really good at this game, even though he's been playing it just a fraction of how long I've been playing it. But I think watching Jazer and just seeing him jump in and just like obliterate this game, and it's awesome to see stuff like that. And while I'm not on the level as Jazer is, I kind of would watch his stuff and be like, I can do that, but I'm not as good as him, and I'll gladly admit that. But I think he's one of the ones that kind of would catch me on that. And I don't see him play anymore. But who was it? Overswarm, I believe that was his name. He played there for a while. And he was one that we talked strategy a lot, and I think him and I like kind of were back and forth whenever he was in Potion, and that was one of them for me as well. So
Very nice.
but of course, Golden's going through this like it's his job. Why is he so good at this game? Anybody got any ideas?
It's a lot of effort, a lot of practice, and just overall, I think a good like game sense. But if you asked him, even on an incredibly great run, even he would be like, "Oh, well, like I could have done this or I could have done that." I think that's what keeps us going, right? It's like I've never gotten the perfect run. I know, like maybe one day could, but probably not. But I can always do a little bit better. And I think I've also seen, in terms of people stepping out into like other randomizers, that there's often like from my personal experience of like playing other RPG randomizers, there's like I build like different skill sets of like when I dabbled in like free enterprise, I was thinking about like battle inputs and menuing a lot more. Like playing Jets of Time makes us like think ahead and be pretty quick on the how we execute our turns. And when I come back to Worlds Collide, I like think about it like a little bit differently. So that's just been like kind of my personal experience, and I've seen others that are like experienced randomizers, like yourself, Fiery Blizzard, or Mike. I know I was in a division with Rybon, and I was, oh man, he's so fast in the free enterprise, and like it's only a matter of time.
I was in whenever Rybon came through on Potion, I was in with him, and I was like, this guy's cheating. Like, I mean, he was so fast, and I'm like, where are these people coming from? And I'm still from back in the day when like a 90-minute run was good, and now you're getting into all this, and people are like sub 70, and they're like, well, that it could have been a sub 65, and I'm like, what? I'm glad I like playing the game, because if like I was really trying to be that good, I would have quit a long time ago.
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember like with you bring up Rybon. I remember someone who was part of Free Enterprise for a while as well, and sort of the feeling of like Man, the Worlds Collide people over at Worlds Collide have no idea what they're about to get with Rybon joining, because there was quite a bit of separation at the time, but still between like Free Enterprise and Worlds Collide. I think is quite combined more now than it used to be. And so it's always really interesting to be like, oh, this person in this community is a really relatively unknown, and then you have a subset of people being like, no, that person is really, 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 really good at RPG randomizers. You give this person like a month to learn the game, and you're going to see something go down. And to see that with Rybon for sure took that route, I want to say, and there were definitely a few others as well. And we've talked about them here too, right? Jazer, I think, was the same way.
Yeah, I know Jazer's involved with. Well, I think maybe he just started Jets of Time, but I know he plays Jets of Time, and so this was my first and pretty much my only RP. Well, I mean, if you want to consider Symphony of the Night an RPG randomizer, but I can't get myself into any other ones. I have a hard time playing them, and I think it's because this was like so much of my childhood, Final Fantasy VI, and I played it a lot. But like the other ones, I played and probably maybe beat, and then it was like, yeah, I don't want to play those anymore. I just want to play Final Fantasy VI, and I play that forever. And I mean, I played it. I remember playing it as soon as like emulators came out. I was like, oh, I'm getting that, and that's all I did was play it on randomizer or play it on emulators all the time. But I really don't get into any of the other ones besides I'm into SOT now, into Symphony of the Night, but it's not the same as this. It's more about movement than menuing and strategy. So it's a whole nother game, looking at these different randomizers.
Yeah, I mean, I thought SOT and Randomizer was about how many controllers you had on stock, but maybe I'm wrong on that. That's
not completely wrong. Not completely wrong. I mean, I've been through several of them playing it. Put it that way. Like, I think I'm on controller like 4 or 5 right now, but I finally found one that seems to be standing up now. So, but I mean, you'll go through them on it.
Knock on wood on that one for sure. You find a controller that you really gel with. Oh, I mean, it's I will say Ultros League has been one hell of a ride for sure. So it's been fantastic to see everyone over the past. Man, I've been here for 3 seasons of War and Triad before that, and I'm terrible at time. Right at this point, ever since COVID happened, I have no sense of time whatsoever. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, has it been like a year and a half? Has it been like 2 years? Has it been like 2.5 years? I don't know anymore. But all I do know is it's been a lot of fun. So.
Definitely. Yeah, it is wild because I feel like Numbers and I started playing around the same time, and then there were already like old timers like before us, and then with just like having success of Moogle Cups, consistently putting on community races and like doing the restreams, and then I think there's been a lot of effort, and I know Drinks Glue has had a big hand in this of just like going out to other RPG rando communities and doing that kind of like cross-pollination. Marathons too, like the FFR marathons, as well as all the various other ones. I think all really bring us together as a community, and we get to do good stuff too with this thing that we're like passionate about. And I've always found that to be like really cool, and Worlds Collide was the first one that I felt like confident enough of like, oh, I think I could actually like do this thing that I've been like watching for a while in terms of like, you know, racing at a marathon or doing my own submission. So
Yeah, I kind of want to build on that too. There is absolutely something to be said for anyone who's entering a community or looking to get, sort of a competition or learning game. There is nearly infinite value of having sort of a race standardized flag set. And like for so long, Ultros League has been that for Worlds Collide, right? I mean, we have the Moogle Cup now, but before that, people were starting, maybe do a Moogle first seed, but Ultros League, that was really the carrier of a lot of people joining Worlds Collide and sticking with Worlds Collide. And so I don't think I can overstate exactly how influential Ultros League and the flag set and the competition, everything about it, was for growing this community.
yeah,
I'm right
indeed. I
with
think
you, and
oh, go ahead.
okay, I'm right with you, and really a hats off to Double Down for doing all this. I mean, he put a lot into this, and I mean, without him, this didn't happen. He came up with it whenever he thought it was going to be just the in between, and it ended up being the thing. It wasn't about the tournament, the tournaments anymore. It was about Ultros League. Everybody was talking about Ultros League, Ultros League this, Ultros League that. I mean, everything else like the Warring Triads and all that other stuff, that was secondary to this. And it's wild that this is going to be gone. I really hope this Atmos series is going to be the same, and it has a good run too.
Yeah, I think like, the format being, I always loved the like lightly competitive, where it's like there are stakes, there's promotion. You're trying not to get demoted if you're, not in tonic, but it's async, so it's like I think that format, made it so that we had that wide participation. I know that our player base is, we got a lot of parents, we got a lot of people that are working, we got people in Italy and India, and we got people in some variety of time zones, and it's hard to have a synchronous, it's not impossible, but it is a lot more difficult to have such a large player pool in like a sync setting. And so I think it, having that accessibility combined with like very helpful community members that are always willing to like, teach and help out or just like motivate each other. I always come back to like our community here is like, it's equally important, being a good human and just like showing up for others as it is to be the fastest racer. And like we hit on, Golden Shocker happens to be kind of both, where they're like an incredible person and very kind and also very talented, but it is nice to have a community where we just share our passion for this thing. There's some competition, but like, the community status is not solely based on who has the lowest PB, right? There are plenty of other equally and more valuable ways that people can contribute, just showing up to race, volunteering for stuff, etc. GGs too, as Golden Shocker pretty handily. I didn't see really anything too, dicey there. Just a smooth Kaka fight, swinging them swords and breaking some shields and whatnot.
I still got to say, my favorite from Golden is whenever we have like some just async races or some sync races, and I'm like, yeah, I found both Ragnaroks and the Genji glove, and he's like, oh, I didn't find those, and still has like a sub 60 or sub 70. I'm like, how you do this?
Yeah, Golden Shocker, how do you do this?
That's a good question. I haven't figured it out yet.
Oh,
But I'm
well,
not
I'm
going to
glad
change a good
I'm
thing.
glad you're oblivious too. Makes me feel better.
No, that wasn't a terrible seed. That Doom was a little scary. The Doom Gaze fight, running into that right at the beginning. Thank goodness I saved. I had a few like rough fights, but nothing too bad.
I think Numbers was the only person who found the Doom Gaze.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I found it. I was just level 3, and I couldn't do anything about it.
No, you found Doom. We know where Doom. Well, you found Doom at Doom Gaze. We know where Doom
Oh,
Gaze
right.
actually was. And
Yeah.
Numbers did the unfortunate gamble of going to Burning House first.
Well, I figured it was the last Ultros League. I had to do it, right? I mean, I couldn't believe nobody else did it. You know, the ultimate troll. That's what you got to do. I mean, just saying.
Someone
That's
else
a
may
fair
have.
point.
We only see 2 people, so.
I think you guys got it on restream too. Me going through that because I think as I wiped, Glue said, "Thanks for dropping in, man." I was like, "Yeah, that's a good one for the books."
It showcases the wide breadth of runs that you can have in Ultras League just by decisions, and some of them work out. That could have just as easily been Ultras 1. It wasn't.
Yes, it could have, or
It could have been literally anyone that wasn't that boss.
It's a 1 in what? 4?
The fights in Burning House were slow. Also, Vectors and
Blearies?
what were the other one? Eyes.
The Blearies? Yeah, the 5
Yeah,
eyes. Yeah.
yeah, the 5 eyes.
Yeah,
It was
it was
definitely slow. No AOE attacks. Well, GG's, Shocker. Guys, thanks for everything. I got a kid that's crying, so he doesn't want me to have fun right now. So
Well, thank you for joining us.
it was great. You know, the last hurrah. So, but enjoy the rest of the night, everybody. Thanks for having me, and Ultros League will be missed.
Yep, for
Thank you.
sure.
What to say, Fitz? We have the latest winner of Ultras League Season 8. The man who got a sub 70 average through 8 seeds. How do we understand how to do this ourselves?
I mean, it's a lot of practice. Honestly, like, the one thing that I'd say is, just it's a really fun flag set. A lot of credit to Double Down and everything that he put into setting up Ultras League, and it wouldn't be what it was if he didn't put so much into it. So, being able to partake in it and actually do well didn't hurt my feelings, but I definitely enjoyed it, and a lot of credit where credit's due.
Yeah, no, it's we've been asking people as they've been brought in. And I do also want to say GG's to Mike, who also has joined us again, on finishing in second place with a 1:16.55. A couple of minutes behind, but we kind of got that sense when we saw both of your streams up at the same time and how close you two were together. So we've been asking obviously, favorite Ultras League moments or seasons that you have in mind, obviously, as we reminisce over the past couple years.
I mean, it's hard to, for me personally, it's hard to turn down Ultras League 8, but I'll also throw out Ultras League 5, where it came down to me, Pero, and Erosions. And it was literally just like neck and neck, where like any of us could have finished 1 through 3. that was a fun season. Like we were all basically at like 40 points at the end of the season, so that was a really fun one where I think it was like the sequence we finished. Pero got in, but Erosions got knocked out, or vice versa. I forget the exact order, but I think that was actually just as much as anything else in Ultras League. It was the pods and like being with a bunch of people for 8 weeks and playing with them, and I mean that was always a lot of fun. So there's a lot of good moments, a lot of good things that have happened, but those are kind of the two that stick out to me.
Okay. The other question I've been asking everyone is sort of if you would consider, or who would you consider one of your rivals for Ultras League? Because we saw a lot of matchups week to week, and you always have that competition. Even if you're in a pod, you're always gunning for like one or two people. And you sort of already mentioned that with your with the Pero and Erosions comment. So that's Ultras League 5. Do you still consider that sort of the height of the rivalry, or were there other rivals that you got throughout the seasons?
I mean, early on, it was a lot of the people that I was in Moogle's first tournament in. So, like, I wasn't in season 1, so I ended up starting season 2 and going on after MFT. So, I mean, people like Poot, Scar, early on, definitely, and then I think later on, Stilgar, Glue, Falcon, Double Down, like so many names. I'm missing a bunch. Just everybody that was in the upper end of Elixir, Mega Elixir, that were just really tough competition. Week over week. I mean, so many times where I finished with like there's one week, I think it was season 7, where I got like a 102 or something, and I finished 9th place.
I remember that. I think like 5 people got sub 60s on that week, and I think Gar had a 54 or 52.
It's like a 57-50 or something. It was the fastest competition seed anybody's had, which is just amazing. It was like VK offering Muscle Belt was all in Zen, and I was like the only person that didn't get it all. And I finished in 9th, and I was like, well, that sucks. I thought I actually did well, and I just was like, okay, well, we're just gonna forget that one happened.
Zen is the bane of my existence sometimes. You think you're safe, and then it turns out, there were Ragnaroks for sale in the shop that people were checking. I'm like, come on. I
mean, Rando's gonna Rando. But, I mean, that's what made it fun, is just all the different options, all the different ways somebody could route through a seed, and everybody has the same seed, in the pod, and it's just, okay, well, what do you make of it, basically, at the end of the day?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just realized Fitz left me high and dry again.
It's probably my fault.
Oh, look at that. It's Glue, one of your rivals.
I mean, Glue's kind of a big deal. Don't let them tell you otherwise.
I asked this question before. I think I've only asked this once. I think I asked this to Papa Shango. Is there something that you want Glue to do while he is setting up the Atma series? Is there something that you think worked really well, or something that you wanted to see for Ultras League? And just, it's an open format right now. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know if Glue knows what's going on behind the scenes.
There's a behind the scenes? This is news to me.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's news to me too.
I should get on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. No, I don't have anything that comes to mind immediately that I'd like to see. I mean, I like the format of racing the pods, racing the groups, all the things that kind of made Ultras League what it was. And I think a lot of that from like what I've seen so far is still going to be true. So, I mean, I think it's still going to be a fun community event. What's the phrase for it? Light casual or light competitive? Like it's what it is. It's the fun way for everybody to get involved. All skill levels. Obviously, there's always debates about who races who and everything, but like the end of the day, it's a fun thing for everybody to do. It's a hobby for everybody. So, I mean, it was a great way for everybody to come together in a community as Ultros League, and I hope it really continues on as atmospheres.
I mean, I would say Glue has quite, we'll say, extensive history so far of hosting Worlds Collide events in sort of that format. So I am sure whatever Glue cooks up for the Apple series is also going to be a lot of fun. So I don't know if Glue is going to give us a teaser. I don't think so. I think we get to wait a little bit more information on that. But
If you ask nicely, I'll share the rules doc with you. That's ready.
oh, wait, how do I do that? Do I have to like praise the Yeti?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the Yeti fan club's all about. Those are the people that get access to the rules doc early.
Well, someone did it.
There you go, my friend, just for you. It's in the stream chat. There will be a quiz on Monday, so steady up.
I'm gonna be honest. I was half expecting this to be a Rick roll, so I'm surprised, but glad it wasn't a Rick roll, and maybe not. Never gonna give you up as a solid song.
Speaking of solid songs, Mike snuck in here. He had finished shortly behind Golden Shocker. So GG's Mike, welcome back. Long time no see, my friend. Do you want to talk about the seed a little bit for while you got a moment?
Yeah, it was kind of a fun one. In that power, unless you went to Narsh, your power wasn't really flying there. So I just broke Thunder Shields on things until I could cast Bahamut and just rinse and repeated that until got some Ragnaroks going in the Colosseum.
Yeah, I think we may have alluded to earlier in here, but you ventured up to that weapon shop and then you found the Ragnarok maybe 40 minutes later than most players. But yeah, then you found some more anyways. So Mike, you were a seasoned veteran of the Ultros League. You sent me quite a few times where you played the Mega Elixir Seed or the Elixir Seed, and you were right on my heels. And to be honest with you, Mike, you scared the baloney out of me, knowing that you were coming up the ranks. So Mike, are you going to bring that same intensity, that same ferociousness to the Atma series?
Someone once told me I have that dog in me, Glue. So I'm still coming, and it's fun to run against players like Shocker here, who are always a couple steps ahead of you, but you always have some more things to learn. That you can learn from them.
Yeah, Satya Nadella calls it, he's the Microsoft CEO who I quote all the time to sound cool, calls it, his commitment is to being a lifelong learner. And there's always the best way to play Seeds. Nobody's probably figured out yet. It's probably some 14-year-old that plays Fortnite is going to come along one day and show us all how to truly do it all. So we're just always learning, always figuring it out as we go, as Mike mentioned. Mike, Golden Shocker, before we let y'all go and bring in the next batch of finishers, is there anything y'all want to give a shout out to, a plug, a thank you, maybe a haiku?
I guess,
Sure.
Oh, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Shout out Glue for being awesome and carrying all of these tournaments and really this community together. I'm talking to you third person, so sorry about that. But thanks, Glue, and everybody else on the Restream team and everyone that helped put this together. This last finale has been really cool.
Yeah, and I guess on my end, just again, thank you to everybody on the restream tonight, everybody that is associated with Worlds Collide in general. I mean, again, I think I've said it a lot of times on restream, but awesome community. So, look, always enjoy, being on the restream, but also just being part of the community in general. So, much appreciative of everyone, and especially tonight, special thank you to Double Down for everything that he's done in the community. And I think that's it. Thank you again.
Mike, Golden Shocker, in all seriousness, it's an honor to call y'all friends, and I appreciate y'all playing tonight and y'all's kind words. So thank y'all again.
Yep. Have a good night.
Come on.
All right, next up in the batch of interviews, amazing competitors that we're going to drag in here. We got Papa Shango, we got Bubbaski. Guys, GG's. Papa Shango, we had you in a little bit earlier, but you actually want to talk about the seed a little bit for a moment?
Yeah, sure. It was definitely an interesting seed to go out on for Ultros League. Really struggled in the beginning there to figure out how to get off level 3 and how to get going, but eventually was able to get there, but was just kind of really struggling for experience and levels throughout. Was just couldn't really find that overwhelming offense. I don't know if I just made poor decisions or if it was just the seed. But no, it was definitely interesting and made you think, and so I enjoyed a final Ultros League seed there.
Bubbaski, I propose the same question to you, my friend.
Similar answer. Could not find power to save our lives early game, and also could not find armor to save our lives late game. Everybody was hitting. I don't know. You're wearing robes for most of the party at the end of the game, except for the one behemoth suit I got late. Hopefully, I don't know if everybody else found a
snow
Yeti.
mufflers.
Saw a couple Yetis. I don't think everyone found the Yeti,
Yeah.
but
Bergsman definitely found it because he was using them. However, that was just as in the Skepha's Tower as the Moogle Charm Mule, if you will.
That's a shame.
we already
Yeti
know
was
Papa
my
Shango
last
and
kill.
I mean, we all know Papa Shango and I can't find the Yeti, even if it was the only objective in the seed. So
Yeah, I definitely didn't find him this time.
All right, so Papa Shango, Bubbaski, I'm going to ask y'all one final question before we bring in the next batch of finishers. Is there anything you want to give a shout out to happening inside your own neck of the woods, outside the community, that you want to give a shout out to before we let y'all go?
Just that there's a lot of, although Ultros League is going away for now, there's still a lot of good events going on in Worlds Collide. There's the Living Seed, which is always interesting. Every week, you get to choose anyone that participates, changes 2 seeds or flags, whatever you want, and it really gets out of hand and gets wacky quickly. The other thing that I wish would be a little more popular is the weekly draft. I think the Setzerbot and draft settings are just a really nice, unique thing to Worlds Collide, where you can really get a lot of variety in your seeds. You can get some really interesting stuff out there. So I would say anyone that wants to kind of branch out and really see everything the randomizer can do, join us in the weekly draft. And then also just want to, again, thank you guys for putting this on, and Double Down especially for coming up with the Ultros League. It was really a great introduction to randomizers for me, and I really liked it and appreciated it. And especially now that I've been around the scene for a little while now, seeing all these other randomizers, just seeing how great it is compared to everything else out there. And so I will miss it, but I was glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you for the kind words, Papa Shango. Appreciate you. Bubbaski.
Likewise, I'm going to shout out number one for you, Dream School, for putting on the Chocobo Invitational. It has been an incredible tournament. I'm having a blast doing that. I know everybody else is too. Very fun flag set. Other shout out to everybody in the Chaos crew. I know there's only a handful of us, but that is also something that happens every week. An async race of just Chaos flags. It gets out of hand very quickly, and we have a blast. So anybody who gets a chance to play, come join us, do some Chaos.
Chaos scares me. I've seen some of those objectives.
They can get out of hand, but they're also sometimes they actually end up being incredibly fast. But it just depends on the role and how nice or how cool Seedbot wants to be to you that evening. But nevertheless, Bubbaski, Papa Shango, I appreciate y'all more than y'all could ever know. Thank y'all again for participating tonight, working with us as we bounce between the runners, and then last but not least, dropping in for a few moments before y'all head off for the evening. We all appreciate y'all greatly.
Of course, no problem. Thanks for putting it on. I always enjoy racing, especially in front of a crowd.
We're going to bring in 2 more finished runners. We're going to bring in PB and J, please. And now we got the one, the only Turdsman as well. Gentlemen, Turdsman, we'll start with you, good sir. Turdsman, how was the seed for you tonight? We saw you a little bit there at the end, but we didn't get to see your first foray into the various checks. How did it work out for you tonight?
I got hardcore tricked at the beginning. If it wasn't the first, it was the second chest I opened had a Ragnarok in it. So I was like, ooh, okay, hey, hot diggity dog, let's go. But then it was just so much. I had so many builds that were 75% done by the end. It just, I kept not quite getting, and a bit of that was not teaching Strago the right spells. I gave him Merton hoping that would kind of come together, but then I forgot where the red jackets were being sold at. But no, all in all, just like a good seed for creativity, I guess. Like, you really had to kind of make what you had work for you.
PBJ, please. First off, long time no see, my friend. Always glad to see you around. But yeah, how did the seed? Was it generous to you? Was it cruel to you? In between?
It was great. You guys weren't watching during Kefka's Tower, right?
No.
We saw Lee River.
But now we need a visual or a verbal representation of what happened.
Okay. I died to Dolahan twice. That's about it. Yeah, Elite River was great. Always a good check to do. Yeah, just a good seed. Good time.
I don't think I've seen anybody that died at Dolahan since 1996, so I'm sad we missed that.
It was a really special one, yeah. I had Strago casting Bolt 3 for about 3,000 damage, and that's it. And yeah. And then on the third attempt, I remembered that I had Merton, and I just put on my ice shield and just, won. So that was good stuff.
We'll chalk it all up to the long layoff between restream appearances.
Yeah.
All right. Herdsman, PB&J, before we let y'all go and move on to Sigil, who's down there, I think there's maybe a couple more people still playing. I need to check that. Is there anything y'all want to give a shout out to, a final mention to, any parting thoughts, final four worlds before we bring Sigil up here?
Sure, yeah, I guess shout outs, I'm sure he's gotten plenty, but shout outs Double Down for setting us up at the beginning. This was a really good event, league, whatever you want to call it, for getting into all this, but it was also just a really good way of like getting to know people, like it was a really good social activity on top of being a pretty well-made tournament series. So I guess big shout outs to the community. Thank you guys for letting me in. Everyone here is very friendly. It's been a good time.
Very well said. Same question to you, PB&J.
Shout outs. I mean, yeah, just everyone in this community is awesome. I've been out of it for a while, but coming back, it's just like everyone's so great. Double Down for making Ultros League happen and so many other tournaments, and just being an awesome dude. Glue for putting on this race, also an awesome dude. Yeah, thanks everyone.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's like a final shout out thing, like to double up on what I said earlier. Like, I have been having a good time going around and watching folks stream other stuff too. So, if any of you out there kind of sticking to the Worlds Collide thing, definitely branch out and go watch watch your favorite runners run other ones. There's a huge world of these randomizers out there, and it's really neat to meet people here that I then kind of jump around on top of that to go and hang out with them in other spots. That's been hugely rewarding.
Yeah, no, I'd echo that for sure. Man, watching a lot of people just pick up Crystallis, the game that I've basically never played, and be like, wow. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing that one. I've been getting into the Secret of Mana one. I'm trying to get the Zelda ones down. Sigil's not here right now, but I don't want to disappoint him.
He can be. You want me to bring him up?
Well, sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? All right, so PB&J, Tersman, thank y'all again for all of the kind words. Thank y'all for participating tonight.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all. Sigil, we just dragged you up. Sigil, if you're there, you're live on air.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing very good. Yeah. So Sigil, we didn't get to see your full run. We saw various. We saw the part we did see go pretty well for you. Do you want to give me, some thoughts, a little overcap of your full seed experience tonight?
I just felt it was a slow seed overall. Just couldn't. I was hoping for like another Thunder Shield to get Murden going at the end, but never found it. I got lucky. I found a second set of rags in the middle lane dragon.
Where was the Merton Esper at?
I don't remember.
Was that the Zen Thief one?
No, it wasn't Zen Thief.
No, it wasn't Zen Thief. I found it pretty early, and I wasn't worrying about it until, later on when I realized that, Strago has nothing to do.
My striker was on Bahamut duty for a lot of the seed.
Makes sense.
I'm guessing it might be Mog checks, one of the Mog checks.
Oh yeah, maybe, because I think both. Oh, maybe Kefka. No, Kefka at Narsh was Gao.
Yes, and Shadow was Moogle Defense.
I know Shadow was Moogle Defense. Gao was
Yes.
Kefka Narsh. DLK, who was racing this behind the scenes, is saying that it was not Mog checks, may have been Mount Zozo. I don't know.
Okay, I did go there.
Yeah, I did go there also.
Let's just say the attention from the commentators across this entire race on the race itself was not exactly the maximum amount it could have been.
I blame Gretham. Sigil, what are your thoughts on Gretham?
What did I do?
Gretham is a wonderful person when he's not cursing me.
How often is that?
Every time I race, he curses me.
Only sometimes. Which turns out to be a lot of the time.
Yes.
Sometimes he curses you 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Red Jinxes in Zelda 1?
He hasn't touched me in Zelda 1 yet.
Which
So
thing is,
far
I need
for
to
that.
start running Zelda 1 so I can curse you.
Or you just start tracking it.
True.
All right, I do have to get going, though. Thank you so much for putting this on. I'm happy to see Ultros League get sent off like this. GG's, y'all.
Yeah,
GG's,
thank you.
Turdsman.
Yeah, GG's. Thank you again, Tersman. Have a good night, or enjoy the rest of your workday.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so Sigil, we're going to ask you one final question before we speak with Drulith, who just finished up as well. Sigil, you alluded to it a little bit, but you got anything else going on inside or outside the Worlds Collide community that you want to give a shout out and or mention to?
Right now in the Z1R community, the Master and Apprentice Battle Royale is going on. And beginning of June, we're going to be hosting our Rookie Rumble, which is our new player event. And in Z2R, with Max Rando tournament's going to be starting like in the middle of May.
I thought you were going to keep going up to Link to the Past and Link's Awakening, then Ocarina of Time, and so on. But we stopped at Z2. I got it.
Yes.
Okay,
Gotta stop at Z2R.
All right, why no Link to the Past, Sigil?
I haven't joined tournaments in that yet.
One day.
One day.
One day.
Well, you see, Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 only have 2 buttons. It only has A and B. Once you start getting X and Y involved, it gets so much more complicated.
No, Zelda 2 also has Select.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Well, so does Z1, technically on the second controller.
But Select's actually important in Z2.
One day we'll all join together.
Yes.
All right. Thank you again, Sigil.
You're welcome.
It was an honor to have you tonight, and it's an honor to call you my friend and a member of this community, and we appreciate you, sir.
Right. And I appreciate everything you guys do. And I'm glad that you'll get a big send-off.
Yeah. Thank you again, and have a good night, sir.
You too.
And we have one last person we're going to give a interview to, or allow some recap and whatnot, if you will. Drulith, welcome on in. It's been a while since you've been on the Restream, been on in this broadcast booth. So first, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How was the seed for you today? Because we saw how it started. You found the Ragnarok earlier, but we switched to a lot of other people throughout the night, and we didn't get to see the rest of it. Was the seed cool to you? Was it kind to you? How did it go for you?
Level 5 Doom.
Oh, someone else did go to Birmingham.
So Numbers wasn't the only victim.
Yeah, so I got level 5 Doomed, but I decided to run it back through Burning House because I knew I'd be able to beat Doomgaze on the second go around and basically be good for the early game. After that, it started to look like it was going smoothly. I last locationed my final stuff, and I figured, I think it was, I think you had to go to Ancient Castle, and I was thinking in my head, like, okay, everybody probably had to go down that same route and maybe didn't do it right away, so I thought I was in good standing, even despite the setback. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, offense is just a problem. And, yeah, I never really got online. I had Dragonhorn, and this is a problem because I haven't been playing a lot. I decided to just not even take notes, so I didn't note down where like Dragoon boots were at all. So at the end there, I was like, okay, maybe I'll try to look at a few shops. Maybe I'll get some Dragoon boots. Maybe I didn't notice them earlier. Instead, I found Pearl Rods, so I sold literally everything and bought 13 Pearl Rods. And I'm like, yeah, I've finished seeds like that before, and it's usually pretty fast. But I tell you, these Pearl Rods do not hit as hard as I remember. They're only hitting like 6,000 or 7,000 a turn, and it was just a slog in the last half. And then I was like, well, at least I kind of have a route through the final boss. And then I got to tier 4. Luckily, everybody was alive. But unfortunately, right before he went to the Goner phase, he knocked out Edgar. And that actually threw a huge wrench into everything. And also, I don't know if it was Edgar, he knocked out somebody, but he had a Thunder Shield queued up. And that was like the last little bit of damage I needed. But if you know the bug, where if you queue it up and then they die, it's gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
That happened, and then I had to spend about 8 minutes reviving until I finally got my footing back in that, second half of the Kefka fight where he can just do 2 Havoc Wings in 1 turn. And luckily, he only did that a few times, so I was able to recover, but it was rough.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a fun seed. I enjoyed the challenge, to be honest. I had a lot of fun.
Good. You had played, we know you played in various Ultros League seasons over the years, including the original, correct?
Yeah, I was there for seasons 1 through 4, and then I signed up for 5, 6, and I believe 7, but I kind of just had other stuff going on and never really finished all my races. And That's basically how that went.
What would you say your favorite memory from playing in Ultros League over the years, over the seasons, would be?
My favorite memory of Ultros League. I think probably was when, during SGDQ, I got to meet a lot of people in the community, and everybody was really great. And there was a seed we ran in the practice room at SGDQ. It was like a practice seed before we ran the real deal one, and Dr. DT like blew it out of the water. And I like sucked at it. Like I had a really bad time during that seed, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna do well like on the real deal seed. Because it was like not a good seed for me. But I was like, how did you get your offense? Like, and he was like, oh yeah, I just went to Coliseum, dude. Like, and like at that time, Coliseum, like that's just even to this day, like I just never go there. Like it's just not a part of my route. I don't believe in it. I think nowadays the opinion's changed and it's actually good, especially with like updates.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, that blew my mind. That's a core memory for sure.
It's only good when the Tonics trade for the experience eggs and you get to fight a Slurm or whatever it's called.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I probably should have checked the Coliseum on this seed. Like that might have been what saved me, but alas.
All right, Drillith, before we let you go, is there anything coming up in your own neck of the woods, inside or outside the World's Collide community, you want to give a shout out and or mention to?
Yeah, I mean, so as far as like Worlds Collide's projects go, I kind of fallen off with it. I have other projects in the works, but they're really not related. Like nothing to really get into. But I do want to say thank you to Double Down for running such a great series throughout the years. Like it was like awesome. Like just straight up. Like not a lot of communities have something like Ultros League.
Mhm.
And it was really great. And so many just awesome seasons, awesome events that came up because everybody was racing the game just in general because of Ultros League. Like it really has like a rippling effect through the entire community. And I always look back really fondly. And also I just want to thank the Worlds Collide community just in general for being awesome, for playing a part and just helping shape me and like who I am, because I've always been like a younger person in the community, and I've grown a lot just through my time playing Worlds Collide, and I'm always reflecting and looking back, and yeah, just provide a lot of amazing opportunities like SGDQ, all these charity marathons we've done, everything like that's awesome. And yeah, even if I'm not around as much anymore, the game and community still does have a large place in my heart, and I think about it a lot. A lot busier with other stuff and sidetracked in other games and all that, but yeah, that's all I really have to say.
All right, well, we appreciate you joining us tonight. It's not every day you get somebody who's been on the big stage at Summer Games, or Summer Games Done Quick, excuse me. And we appreciate you, Drew, with playing tonight and joining us in the broadcast booth after your run, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Have a good night. Good one.
All right, so we do have one more person we're going to drag up here and interview.
Do we need to though? Like,
I did tell him if he didn't join, I would never donate to a dog charity again. That was a little harsh, but I think that's what the situation required. So,
all right, grab him in here.
Without further ado, we have one last guest we would like to bring in the broadcast booth, the commissioner, the one and only commissioner of Ultros League himself.
Oof.
Double Down 11.
Oof. Yeah, I am disgraced former commissioner, AMA.
More seriously, my friend, all of us are here tonight because it's an amazing contraption that you are the mastermind behind. I think Blizzard alluded to it earlier, but a lot of people don't seem to grasp or knew that there is one person running 100-person league for over 2 years. And I want to personally, before we get anything else, just tell you how much I've always appreciated that. I always kind of, knew that little tidbit from behind the scenes, and I've always appreciated the work and the time and the effort and the care and the quality you put into everything. So dues are due. So thank you again, my friend. But yeah, what did you think of the race tonight that you saw?
I liked it. I was glad that we had 3 Ultrases appear. I would have liked to see 4, but couldn't be that perfect, I guess. But no, it was a great race, and it was honestly it was really great and kind of touching, but just awesome to see so many community members, especially to hear so many of them come through the booth. I mean, that's really always been what's so great about Worlds Collide is the community. I mean, that's what drew me to it in the first place. That's what made Ultros League such a pleasure to sort of be involved in the whole time. So, this race was just a great example of it. We saw Golden Shocker destroy, which that's on brand, that's on theme. We lived through the Falcon Hit administration and now the Golden Shock administration of just dominance, and it's a fitting way to end things. So it was a great race.
Yeah, but I kind of figured that one on. What if we tried something a little different tonight? What if we had Golden Shocker and just cycled everybody else through, and we'll let whoever's closest at the end, go on toe to toe with them on stream. But as you alluded to, just the straight up dominance. Everybody was neck and neck, and then Golden Shocker was Golden Shocker, and then who will stop this man one day?
I had the pleasure, the honor of being in Mega Elixir with him for the last few seasons, and then Falcon Hit before that. So I got to enjoy the experience week in and week out of tasting victory, and then at the very last minute having it snatched away by Golden Shocker or various other people. I think that's the joy of Mega Elixir, as you know as well, that you turn in a great time. As I can remember a certain somebody dominating me when I had a 102, and who was it that got a 59 that week? I can't remember who that was, DG, but
I feel like it was Restreamed.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Actually, no. That so. I'll tell my kicked in the Hootenanny story. I remember one week I had a 102, and I was like, man, this is awesome. There was an egg in the basement, and you have like a Celeste Star. I was like, man, everybody's finding this egg. There was a Magic Power +2 down there, Esper. I was like, you know what? If everybody has a Celeste Dart, everybody's going to walk down here, find this egg, find this Magic Power 2 Esper. I got to make the most of it if I want to do well and just do more with this than anybody else will. And I straight just YOLO'd it through everything, and I had like a 102 and some change. I was like, man, this was like Saturday night. I was like, man, this is amazing. I can't believe this is like, one of the best performances in the history of the game. And then I wake up Sunday morning and I get to watch Scar go through the exact same path. And then he goes to Collapsing House and then finds a VK, an egg, an offering, and an HP +100 Esper all in the same town. And I'm like, oh my God, he's about to beat me by 10 minutes. And then sure enough, he beat me, 57 and some change or whatever. And those are just the real joys of Mega Elixir that we'll all miss.
Yeah, season 7 especially, it was just a joy. But I mean, that was really, I think, a fun experience that everybody got to enjoy in every division of those heartbreaking defeats where you're cruising halfway through the week, you've got a great time, this is going to be your big 9 points, and then somebody, and it could be anybody. That was the beautiful thing about Ultros League, is that any given week, it was like the any given Sunday thing, that any given week, it could be somebody just coming out of nowhere and stealing away your 9 points and dropping you to 6 and then 4 and then 3. And, that pleasure of watching throughout the week as your time that you were so proud of just sort of slips down and down and down and down.
Yeah, luckily Blizzard will never know. Well, maybe one day, but he'll never know the true pain of having 12 people in the same group at the highest of the heights. 11 people are frustrated every week, but we can look forward to that. Yeah, we can look forward to that in Atmosphere or whatever, but that's for another time. But again, double down, not to shovel praise unnecessarily, but it's all deserved. But
no, please shovel away. I mean, honestly, if anything, there has been enough. I have a fragile, hungry ego. So no, I'm kidding. Honestly, the community is the real star here. I just started a bunch of acings every week. I mean, that's how this all started, was just some random guy deciding to rip off a league that he saw somewhere else and adapt it for this, and just threw some races together and thought nobody would join, and a couple of people did, and it was great, and we all made some great friends. I mean, hey, for my own part, shout out to Season 1 Elixir A, the greatest of all groups. I think we all made some great friends. I think we all made some great connections. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, and just the format is kind of, that's the cool thing about the format. A lot of the other neighboring communities, not to throw dirt or anything else, but a lot of them are more on the, I guess, trying to figure out the exact correct competitive way. And if you look across like major sports leagues, they're all a little different because really there is no one true great competitive way, one sure way to do things like that. The NCAA tournament's a one game off, and then the NBA playoffs are best of 7 for 3 months. And there is no right or wrong. It's just make the most of it. And that was the cool thing about Ultros League. It was just a way to bring people together and let them play lightly, competitively. A game that's not designed to be played against each other or competitively. And it's just a fun way to experience Worlds Collide or FF6 with other people with similar interests. And it was just an amazing way of bringing people together.
That's it exactly. I mean, and to have a race where every week you're racing against people where you're not going to get completely blown out and you're not going to annihilate anybody. I mean, and I've probably said it a million times, people probably get sick of me saying, I'm not a big believer in PBs and things like that. I just want to have fun, competitive, semi-competitive races with some pals and have some fun along the way. And that was really the goal. And I think for the most part, it kind of happened. So yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of this game. And I mean, that's the other beauty of Worlds Collide is that there's no right way to play. For a lot of people, Ultros League has been a big draw. For some people, Ultros League is essentially all they do. For other people, they don't want any part of Ultros League. And the same will be true for Atmos Series, right? Where some people want to do Atmos Series, some people want to do Chaos, some people want to do Seed of the Week, some people want to do et cetera, et cetera. There's no wrong way to play this game. There's a million right ways, and people are coming up with new ways to play it every day. So, I always encourage everybody, branch out, try some of these great events. I mean, the club scene is incredibly vibrant. There are more events and more ways to play and engage with the community now than there ever have been. It's an incredible time in Worlds Collide history right now. Like it's the greatest time to play. And there's just so many fun ways to play this game, and there's new ways being discovered all the time. So get in there, join some of these clubs, meet some new people, make your own flag sets, make some seeds of the week, submit some seeds of the week, maybe play a seed of the week. There's no wrong answers here, so that's the beauty of it.
Blizzard, do you have anything for Double Down before we let him enjoy the rest of his evening?
I feel like I said it throughout the broadcast, and I really cannot thank you enough for setting all this up. I mean, I think about Warring Triads. It's, without Ultros League following that up, I don't know how much longer I would have really been sticking around, but Ultros League was such a huge grab for me. Playing, joining that Season 6 with a whole bunch of friends as well, over from the Free Enterprise community and so on. And I've really enjoyed it. I said it in chat as well. I had a hard enough trouble coordinating 2 races a week. I can never imagine trying to do 14 on the same week. To me, that just is... It's a lot more difficult than it really sort of seems, even though it is all just bot commands. It's a considerable amount of work, and I really cannot thank you enough for putting it all together. And I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to join Ultros League and make a lot of lasting friendships and a lot of lasting rivalries as well. So it's been great.
Well, yeah, thanks for all that. It does get a lot easier when you just get really good at copy pasting 17 times and you make your Google sheet make all the commands for you. Or what you can really do is just make an entirely new race bot that should streamline the whole process, but then stop Ultros League right after you make that race bot to make your life easier. So that's probably my biggest recommendation, is just create a race bot from scratch. It's super easy. It's never buggy, and supporting it after is a lot of fun. So that's my other recommendation, is once you run a couple events, make the race bot. It's it's a great choice to make.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, well, fair point. So I'll double down again before we let you enjoy the... You always do this.
Can't stop, won't stop.
We can have the one sarcastic line there.
Oh, I'm good for more than one. I can be here all night. I've got nowhere to be. So, what more sarcasm do you want here?
Well, we didn't see Ultros 4, so we got no sneezes.
And that's the last time I ever
that's a
make
shame.
other league joke at your expense. All right, so before we let you go, one, for those of you who missed the start of the stream earlier, we'll replay the video package, which consists of the various messages we collected from community members over the past couple of weeks, Joya and myself. But before we do that, Double Down, do you have any final words before we switch that and then to sign off?
Love each other. No, I don't know. You know, I just want to thank everybody for all the really kind words. I really am shocked that this whole Ultros League thing was a success in the first place, let alone lasted for 8 seasons. It really, like, nobody is more shocked than me. And that's not humility, that's not modesty, that's not false modesty. Like, genuinely, I thought this was going to be a flop and I was going to be embarrassed and would just sort of shamefully leave the Discord after nobody joined it. But you folks did, and that was great. And I'm really looking forward to cheering on Atmos Series. You know, I know the rules for Atmos Series are a closely guarded secret that nobody will ever know about. You know, I think that's been discussed already, but I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing.
We keep the roles under lock and key for now.
That's it. That's it. Exactly. You know, nobody needs to know about the Atmos Series rules, but I'm looking forward to seeing them. You know, and as well as every other thing. Like I said, I'm so happy to see all these clubs and stuff. And you know, a huge shout out to the rest of not only the community, but the folks who are still active in running events and, you know, things like that. So the rest of the mods, the admins, you know, Ravlin, Boo, folks like that, and then of course all the folks running restreams, things like that. You guys are the lifeblood of this community. We wouldn't be having. Nobody would be watching Ultros League if we didn't have great people doing restreams and commentary and tracking and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, I was going to say it takes a village, but that's kind of tacky and lame, isn't it? It takes a Discord community, and by God, that's what we have. So thank you, everybody.
I did lie. Dwaya has a channel point redemption in the chat, and she posits to you, sir, because you don't stream anymore, and we have to do this now while we got you. What's the best Star Trek episode?
Oh gosh, I mean, there's so many to pick from. That's too broad. I can't pick. It's like trying to pick your favorite child. Which, if I ever encounter people who have kids, I do always make them pick their favorite kid. Oh man, favorite Deep Space Nine episode. I think we're gonna go with an episode called "In the Pale Moonlight." She didn't actually redeem any points, so I'm not going to give the full review of it because no points, no review. But it's a great one. It's not super happy, but it's a great episode. So. There you go.
Very well said, very well teased, and more seriously, again, to switch back to the serious side, thank you again, and then thank you for joining us here tonight, hanging out with us in the chat, and then joining us after the race. We appreciate you more than you can ever know, my friend.
Well, thanks for having me, and I appreciate all of you and everybody in chat and everybody in the Discord and everybody everywhere, all people. Appreciate you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so we'll replay the video package that played at the beginning of the stream, and after that, we're going to raid somebody. I don't know who, because I don't see the Live Now channel, but stick around and we'll raid somebody playing Worlds Collide. Or FF6, or maybe Zelda, we don't know. We'll find somebody and raid them.
Hello, everybody. This is Saberwolf, one of the community managers for the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide community. As time has come to say goodbye to one of our standard flag set competitions that we have in our community, that is the Ultros League. Like I just said, is where almost all of our flags, across all of our other competitions and events that we do around here, was based off of. So please join us on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern on our FF6 Worlds Collide Twitch channel to say goodbye to this flag set and the competitions. It will be an all-night event of looking back in the past on how things were and what we're looking forward to. Once again, join us 8 p.m. Eastern on FF6 Worlds Collide Twitch channel. There we go. All right, that's take 5 on that one.
where to start with Ultros League. 8 amazing seasons. I gotta say though, I went through one of my hardest times through I think 5 and 6 or 6 and 7. Yeah, 5 and 6. I went through a divorce, and I realized a lot of you guys were out there, and I talked to a lot of you through all of it. And Ultros League helped me keep my sanity through all of it. It was one of the hardest times of my life. While there were so many unpredictable things, I could always count on everybody that played Ultros League, and for that weekly race to be there. From Glue to Fitz to Saberwolf, all you guys that I talked to through all this stuff, it helped me keep my sanity. I hardly saw my kids. I was working like crazy, lost massive weights, unhealthy amount of weight. But I gotta say, Ultros League has always been there, and it's sad to see it go. It'll always hold a place in my heart. Here's to the 2 seasons that kept my sanity, and here's to the rest. We'll miss you.